There are many fears that people all over the world have about public speaking, but amongst the top of them is drawing a blank. That moment when you can't remember what you want to say next. And if you're not careful, the reaction may be that you panic in the moment. Well, please don't do that. I'm going to suggest a few ideas to you that if and when it ever occurs to you again that you draw that dreaded blank, you'll know exactly what to do. Number one thing you can do is to pause in that moment. The reason that you have lost your place commonly is because you were distracted by something or somebody. Either which way, by simply dwelling on the last person that you were speaking with and looking at them directly and just nodding in that moment, looking for a reaction. And maybe, if you can, think of a question, a logical question that will flow on the back of the very last thing that you said, like, makes you think, doesn't it? Or how extraordinary is that? Or better still, if it's something that could invite conversation, to ask a question like, what do you do in that situation? And wait for the reaction, wait for the response. Even if you don't get a response, you can say, well, I can tell you that in that moment, I would be thinking, and then you tell them whatever you'll be thinking about. And this is a really nice time for you now to segue back to the speech that you want to give in the first place. If you remember, as you chat about this, what you want to say next, then you just continue. If you don't, just say, now, where were we again? Wait for somebody to give you a response, and then away you go again. Worst case scenario, if none of that works, that you can say, after you talked about where was I know. Have a look at your bullet points that you have in your notes, pick the next point and just say, now, when it comes to, and away you go. Here's the truth. After you have finished your speech, you will be astonished how often your audience didn't have a clue that you had drawn a blank at all. The 2 seconds that seemed like 20 seconds to you will have had no consequence from their perspective. In fact, they think commonly that you've had an emotional moment. So don't panic, embrace the moment. I promise you'll get a better result.